Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your girl Zeddy from Hill House IND, a full-service imaging and development firm located in Jackson, Tennessee, but servicing clients all over the country. Listen, as we've been working with our friend and brother John Mike over at Dynamics Music on his instrumental visual album, Do What You Love, we've gotten a lot of questions in over the last few days, kind of about what kind of gear we're using, what kind of cameras and lenses we're using, what goes with us out on every shoot, stuff like that. So we definitely are appreciative of our supporters, our YouTube watchers, our Facebook friends, our Google Plus followers and circles. We're just really appreciative of all your support and of your questions. So we want to take a moment out just to try and answer some of those questions kind of one at a time over the next few weeks. And the first one we're going to do is kind of what's in our bag. I'll show you the bag right now. What you see is some of the gear is just sitting there. I'm going to talk about the stuff that's on this table first, and then we'll go through some of the other things that go in our bag. And the reason I'm doing a bag, what's in my bag video, is because the things that are in my bag are what go with us every single time we go out on a shoot. Not everything gets used all the time, but that bag and the things in it go with us every single time to every single shoot. So I'm not going to get into the larger things that we carry, like our light setups and stuff like that, because sometimes we take those things and sometimes we don't. For instance, on the video we did, Your Love, featuring Vonda Cooper with Dynamics, we did not use any of our own lighting for that. We were able to use the house lighting and to kind of create that dramatic black, dark background behind her with some of just kind of the spotlight lighting on it, and that was our intention, to kind of create that deep romantic kind of live performance feel, and so that's what we were able to accomplish. For that shoot, I guess I'll start first with the cameras that we use, and these are again the cameras that we use for every single shoot. Everything that we do, we shoot with the Sony Alpha system, and Sony Alpha 57s are our cameras of choice. And I know some people are saying, well, that's a cropped frame camera, a crop sensor camera. It's not full frame. It's a prosumer camera, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you something. We paid quite a bit for the camera bodies. We own two of those, one of which I'm shooting with now. I don't believe that cameras make the type of camera, how expensive your camera is, makes the video what it is. I'm more of an investor in my glass or my lenses, which you'll see in just a few moments. I believe that it's more wise and more business savvy to spend money on your lenses and then step your body up. And I still have not completed my lens collection that I feel will make my lens collection as well rounded. I've got one or two more lenses I want to add, and then I'll think about stepping up to the Alpha 99, which is Sony's newest full frame camera, 24 megapixels, absolutely beast. And the truth is, full frame is great for photography and for videography, truthfully. But a lot of times, for the most part, people who are going to see your work after it's done, gone through the editing process, are not going to be able to tell whether you shot it on a full framed camera or on a crop sensor camera. So miss me with all of that about the type of body that we use. Our product is coming out more than sufficient. And so I'm really excited about that. Anyway, the lens that you see on this camera is a 50 millimeter 1.8 for my photographers and videographers. This should be the first piece of glass that you purchase. I know a lot of people are proponents of getting the kit lens, the 18 to 55. And it's worth it sometimes. You pay extra $50-$60 to get that. But if you are limited budget, only have money to get a body and one lens, go on eBay, get you a Sony A57 body, Sony A55 body, something. If you're doing video, I would at least do the A57 if you're going to go the Sony route. But even if you do Canon or Nikon, a 50 millimeter 1.8 or 1.4 should be your very first purchase. It's $100 and something bucks usually, maybe a little more than that, I'm not sure. But it's an inexpensive lens, but it is a beast of a lens, and it's really great. There's no zoom capabilities, but you can get close. This thing is great in low light. It's going to give you some really, really crisp footage, video or photo-wise. It's an awesome little baby. The next lens, next lens that we use is a Sony 35 millimeter 1.8. Again, another awesome lens that every photographer, every videographer should have in your arsenal of lenses. These are the two lenses that are on our cameras most. I'm actually shooting with it, and it kind of gives you a wider, longer angle, which I can appreciate on a lot of stuff. We use this a lot. We use both of these lenses a lot in the Your Love video with Vonda Cooper. The next lens that we own but don't use too often, but when we do, it gives us great results, is this Sony 85 millimeter 2.8. Again, excellent low light, super fast, super awesome. Gives you some more zoom in effect, although it's still a prime lens, doesn't zoom itself. It gets you in closer to your subject without having to be in their face. And a lot of my friends, even John Mike, make fun of me and say I don't mind being a distraction. So I always tell the artist that I'm filming, look, I'm going to be in your face. It's just kind of my style of shooting. I like to get those closer, tighter, more intimate shots. So just kind of be prepared for that. But the 85 millimeter lets me stand back a little bit further and still get some great footage in with that. The next lens, this is kind of our beast baby here. And I'm going to have my husband kind of slide that forward for me because I'm using, I'm hand shooting. You can slide it back a little bit more. I'm just hand holding my camera right now. This is a Tamron 70 to 200 2.8. This is a beast. A beast of a lens. When you see those shots that seem like they're coming up from the sky with Vonda Cooper, that is this lens on one of the A57s. And it's just a really great low light lens. Gives you really good depth of field, really shallow depth of field, but can be adjusted for whatever type of depth of field you want, whatever level of depth of field you want. And so, you know, I really love this lens. This right now is the most expensive lens in our arsenal. Paid quite a bit for it. Some people ask, why didn't you get the Sony lens? Why didn't you get the Carl Zeiss glass? Because it is going to cost me $3,000. And so, again, if I'm not big on name brands, as long as it or amounts, cost, as long as I can get sufficient and efficient and professional looking video, I don't have to have the most expensive glass out there. But I do spend money on my glass, put it that way. After I've spent all that I'm going to spend on my lenses, I will step up possibly on the camera body. And then again, I may not. I'm really pleased with the Alpha 57 right now. My next lens, I'm going to have my husband shoot over here. And again, because I want to talk about being able to do this on a budget. Before I got, and you can move that Tamron out of the way, before we picked up the Tamron lens, I wanted a nice zoom lens that had a decent aperture on it. And so I did some research working with the Sonys. It was just another plus for me working with Sonys. This is a Sigma 75 to 200 2.8 to 3.5 lens. And so as it goes out, as you zoom in more, the aperture kind of the aperture numbers go up from 2.8 to 3.5. And this lens, brand new in a Sony brand, in a Sigma brand, a Tamron brand, still was going to cost me like $600. But after doing some research, I learned that the old Minolta Maxim film cameras have the same camera mount, the A mount, have the same lens mount as the Sony Alphas. And so I opted to, well, not I opted to, but that meant that all of the the Minolta Maxim lenses, the older lenses, would fit my Alpha cameras. And for the most part, be completely functional, autofocus and all of that. And sometimes autofocus doesn't work, but sometimes, most times, so far, it has for me. And so I picked this lens up for less than $300. It is a beast of a lens. When it's down to 70, it's great in low light. When it goes out to 200, I prefer it as an outdoor lens. But it was an excellent budget buy for me. And even now, when I'm out shooting baseball games or whatever for my nieces and nephews, for video or photo, it's a lens that I take out, because if I drop this lens, I'm not tripping about it. It's a $200 lens. If I drop the Tamron, though, we're going to shed some tears. So the Minolta Maxim is just a great budget lens if you're just getting started out. You know, you grab a used Alpha 57 body, in my case. You grab a 50mm 1.8 is my recommendation, and you grab an old Minolta Maxim zoom lens, and you got a reasonable kit to get started. And so this is a 2-camera setup that we generally use. Like I said, this guy here, and then the one that I'm shooting on. Most recently, we've added the Sony NEX3. And again, some of you are asking, well, why'd you get the NEX3? They're all the way up to the NEX7 and NEX3N and all the different ones. The NEX3 was the second camera I owned. I started out with a Nikon D3000, and some of you Nikon and Canon snobs are asking why I switched to Sony, but the NEX3 at the time was a smaller package. It was more beneficial to me to have a smaller package. Learned a lot about it, and then I decided I was going to go and get a Canon T2i, and my camera guy at the camera shop there in Chicago where I was living at the time said, I know why you want the Canon T2i, check out these Sony Alphas, and he sold me on the Sony Alpha. So I traded my NEX3 as a trade-in for a Sony Alpha 57. Of course, I had to pay the additional cost for it, and I haven't looked back. I've been absolutely amazed by it. So we wanted to add a third camera to the setup, not ready to go full budget and spend another large amount on another A57, because eventually I do want to step up to the A99. So I did some searching on eBay and came up with this guy for right at, I think, $150 I paid for it. And that's a steal, because even now, brand new, it runs about three something. So the Sony NEX3 shoots in full 1080p, full HD, and it's going to be great for a third camera setup backed by the musicians. If I'm doing a music video live, backed by the drum cages, something like that. Just something I can sit in place that's going to get me a constant view the entire time, and it's going to do it in great quality. Not to mention, I like to use it around the house for the kiddies. And that's just running its kit lens 18 to 55. My next thing that I use is my MacBook Pro, and I'm going to show you that. MacBook Pro 15 inches, my baby right now. Absolutely loving it. Some of you are PC fans. I'm not going to knock you for that. I used to be a PC fan. But right now, it's all about the MacBook Pro. This is a 15 inch running with the i7 processor, I believe it is. And we're absolutely in love with the MacBook Pro. It goes everywhere we go, 15 inches. Sometimes I wish I had something smaller, but when I start my editing process for photo or video, the larger screen just is awesome. I am thinking about a MacBook Air, but who knows? I'm loving the 15 inch right now, so I don't spend money unless I absolutely have to or just have a hankering to. My next two things to add to my Apple family, and that's coming over to the screen. My iPad mini goes with me. It's really great for viewing video on once we upload stuff to YouTube and all of that. And of course, my iPhone 5S, gotta have it. Don't leave the house without it. Quick joke, real quick. I went and I decided I was going to get the Samsung Galaxy. I think it was a 2 or the 3. I kept it for like 7 days and went right back to the iPhone. Next, coming over, I'm going to bring over kind of my bag that has all my little cords and gadgets and stuff in it. This is another one of those things that goes with us everywhere we go. And you all excuse kind of the chaos here on my tabletop. Kind of goes everywhere we go, and he's going to dump that out for us. This is actually the bag that my headphones came in, but any of you who do any sort of video, photography, music producing, anything like that, you know that we always have a multitude of cords. And so this is what it is. My bag full of my cords, my chargers, and I'm not going to go through everything that's in here. My cords, my charger, my little external microphones, my cleaning tools. That's okay, you don't have to spread it out. My cleaning tools for my lenses, all of that stuff. So that goes kind of in with all of that stuff. So far you're seeing kind of a lot of stuff that goes into this bag. My next thing, I'm going to show you my Asden microphone that's coming out. Here, this is a shotgun microphone that we use on our cameras sometimes during video shoots. It's okay, you don't have to move all that stuff. It's fine, you can leave it there. My Asden, this is my shotgun microphone that attaches to the camera. Works really well. In the way of audio, something that we just got that I'm excited about using is the Zoom H4n. Picked this up on eBay again. Budget friendly is what we're trying to do. And again, if you can find something that works, that is functional, that looks decent cosmetically, go the used route. I mean, this is awesome. Even when I don't have to, I try to go the used route. Just because to me it's being a better steward of your resources. And so this is the Zoom H4n. Picked it up used out of Hollywood, California on eBay for $150. And if you go to eBay right now, these things are at least $200, sometimes $3, almost $4. And so again, on a budget, excited about this thing. Has the inputs, can do 4 at a time. I know that's out of focus because I wasn't focusing in on the good, but can do the XLR right into it. So say you are doing a concert, you can take this over to the person who's handling sound and say, hey, can you give me a plug-in to directly to your board? You can record the audio straight into your H4n, drop that on your computer, and have it for use for your audio, for your video editing, etc. And so that's really great. But these are primarily the things that go with us all the time. Now I've got a lot of other stuff that we take with us or whatever, but these are the things that go with us to every single shoot. The cameras, computers in the phone, all the cords, the audio recorder, the audio setup. These are things that go with us to every single shoot, in addition to our tripod. The tripod I'm running right now is the Sumpac 6000 PG. Not going to show that to you. I also have a Manfrotto. Not sure about the model number on that, but the Manfrotto tripod I use. Just ordered a sweet monopod off of eBay last night. Just ordered a sweet camera jib, 8 to 12 foot camera jib. It's going to give us a lot more smooth shots. But I guess just kind of with today's video, I just wanted to show you that with limited equipment, we are being able to produce some pretty professional looking video, being made aware of our weaknesses, in terms of shots. For instance, the other night when we did, the video of Vonda Cooper, when the final video was done, I noticed that there was quite a bit of camera shake, as there may be with this video here. And that was just from me moving around and stuff like that, because I was trying not to use a tripod, because the tripod kind of limits your movement in terms of being able to move around quickly. And I realized then and there that I have to have a monopod, because I'm not down with shaky camera. If you go back and you check out the Piano Love, I was using 2 tripods in that particular shoot, and you see very, very little camera shake, if any at all. And the same thing with the Do What You Love video before that one. So anyway, this is what we take with us to every single camera shoot. No, it's not everything in my bag. One of these days I'll come back and show you everything in the bag and what kind of bag we use and stuff like that. But this is our basic startup package. And really, when we shot the Your Love video with Vonda Cooper and John Mike, we actually just used the 2 Alpha 57s. We used the Tamron 24 to 70, not 24 to 70, that's my wishful thinking, y'all. A 70 to 200 lens, 70 to 200 2.8 lens. We used the 85 millimeter just a little bit, and we ran the 35 millimeter and a 50 millimeter. But we did a 2-camera setup. If you watch that video, it looks like we have at least 4 cameras running, 4 different angles. But that was just me running around the room. Nobody was there. It wasn't a live event. And so I was able to have her go through and sing the song 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times to get those different angles. And so that's the difference in running a live event versus, kind of a staged event. We were doing it just for the purpose of video. So anyway, you all, thanks for watching. I hope this answers some of your questions. Please, by all means, rate, comment, subscribe. And if you have any other questions, then drop them to me, and we will be sure to get those questions answered. Stay tuned for another video on the more about kind of what's in the bag, what bag we use, and I'll show you some of the larger equipment. I'll definitely be doing some unboxings in the next few weeks as more of the equipment that we've ordered comes in. All right, peace, love, nothing but God's blessings. Hill House Imaging and Development. Remember, everything you need is in the house. We'll holla.